friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand.
Going on is Carlos Action Jackson, aka King Dynamite Jackson. Straight out of Atlanta, straight out of Bad News, VA. And then I want to shout out Soft Talk Podcast. Appreciate the love, man. All the love and support, bro.
Appreciate you, champ. Thank you.
Yes, good evening, y'all. How y'all doing? I said I'll do it a little different. Chilling in the mobile headquarters in the driveway. Man, shout out to Reggie Owens. Reggie Owens kind of inspired this live, aka I call Reggie the boxing psychiatrist on here, right? But I want y'all, shout out to Coach Ken. Coach Ken sent me this picture. I could not stop laughing. But Reggie Owens' video, I'll probably when I wrap this up, put the link to that video in the description box as well. But his video, reality is gonna set in to a lot of y'all, man, and a lot of y'all mostly as I play around on this and pop in and out of different channels and stuff. If Earl Spence gets beat up, man, gets stopped, a lot of you guys on YouTube, they're gonna have to send out a search party for y'all. Some of y'all might even kill yourselves because the way you worship that man, right, and how you talk about him when it pertains to boxing, it's so obvious that you really are a fan of his, but you're not really and I say this respectfully, you're not really a boxing person, because when I hear fans like just last night, one of the young guys in the gym, he's talking to me about EJ, right? You see, I said EJ, I call him EJ, Little Earl, right? He's talking to me about EJ, and he's constantly. I'm telling him, I'm talking about Jihad and Marley, and he's telling me about EJ, old vintage EJ, right? That I know, right? He's talking about when he fought Algieri and Samuel Vargas, and I'm trying to tell him, like, yeah, when he fought Samuel Vargas, that was his first fight at the Barclays Center. That was a swing bout. And the kid didn't even know what I was talking about with a swing bout. I was like, you probably didn't even know who EJ was back then, because he fought after everybody else fought. The Barclays Center was empty. But it's crazy how he has such a big fan base here. But I can recall that fight. Nobody was in there. Yeah, nobody. Nobody was in there, right? And I was breaking down EJ to this kid. And I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, he has a lot of flaws. The one you're speaking about, I'm like, not the one that we're gonna see July 29th, the one you're speaking about. And this Earl was drug-free, alcohol-free, an Olympian, and well managed, well moved. Shout out to WCS. I heard WCS is what's the name, and how he was breaking down how they talked about Terrence being matchmake to perfection. So was EJ. You got to call a spade a spade. His first fight out the gates in Florida under the Golden Boy promotion. See, a lot of y'all, when it comes to Earl Spence, a lot of y'all are Johnny come latelys, right? And I say that respectfully. Like, you guys, were y'all really ever his fans, his supporters, especially you ones that worship him? Because I don't really remember a lot of y'all, man. I don't really remember a lot of y'all, man. Like when he debuted at junior middleweight. You remember that? Y'all remember when he debuted at junior middleweight? He debuted as a junior middleweight, 154 pounder. Made his way back down to welterweight. Do y'all remember that? And I'm only saying that because, man, he might get stopped, man. See, one thing about me when it comes to boxing, I'm in this, man. A lot of y'all not really in it. Y'all are like undercover agents with this, bro. You know, that's why I sit back. I watch everybody because that's my job. That's one of my jobs, right? Just to watch, observe, to see who's who, right? And people show who they are. And when it comes to this boxing, a lot of y'all show who y'all are, especially on YouTube, because it's very hard to hide it on YouTube, right? And when it comes to Earl Spence, his radical fan base, right? Because you got I could talk boxing with other EJ fans, right? But the radical ones that worship him like a god, I can't talk to y'all. I'm yo, to be honest with you, that's why listen. If I was in Vegas for this fight, I probably have to beat a couple of y'all up. Real talk. And check my body. I would really have to beat a couple of y'all up, man. And mine's are registered. You know, I see a lot of people on here playing around doing what they do. No, I really get busy. People wear my scars for life. But if I was in Vegas, I would beat a lot of y'all up, man. Real talk, on site. That's just what it is. You know, and y'all know who y'all are. There's no need for me to say your names, because one day you're gonna, you know, like we like to say up here, pay your fare. You're gonna pay your fare. You know, it is what it is. You know, my name is my name. You know, I don't when it comes to my name, I don't play those games. So, you know, it is what it is. But yes, July 30th, man. And shout out to Reggie Owens for that video. Y'all are gonna have to wake up, and it's not gonna be the same for y'all. And I say that fairly for both sides, because if Terrence falls, but when I look at the Terrence Crawford fan base, um, they're more rational, right? They're more rational, right? It's the Earl Spence fan base. Like I'm gonna get back to dude, right? I had to really break this down to this kid yesterday. He's like, oh, Earl Spence is an eye collector. 2 eyes in over 20 something fights. He took one of them, Cal Brook. If you know anything about, you know, when your facial is broken up, it's easy to do the other one. Ugas, and you heard what young Marley said, stop fighting. So when I was explaining this to this kid, I'm like, you're saying he's gonna take Terrence's eye, right? Okay. Did he take Mikey Garcia's eye? They won 12 rounds. He beat the brakes off of Mikey. Did he take Danny Garcia's eye? They won 12 rounds. Did he take Sean Porter's eye? But yet he's gonna take Terrence's eye. And I was trying to explain to the kid, I'm like, you're caught up your program. When have you seen Terrence take a punishment where it looks like somebody was gonna possibly even do that to him? For you to think that Earl Spence could do that to him, when Earl Spence didn't do that against Sean Porter, didn't do that against Danny Garcia, didn't do that against Mikey Garcia, but he's gonna do that against Terrence Crawford. What's the logic? If your logic makes sense, we can chat about this. But when you're just saying it because it sounds good, it's going in one ear and out the other. So then I broke this down to him. I said, okay, you're saying all this to me about EJ. You know, EJ had a horrific car crash. That's the picture that they used. Funny picture, man. Because, you know, we can laugh about this now. He survived. He's good. But they took a mug shot of somebody getting locked up and put it over that. Yeah, I had the man. It had me crying today. So I said, I'm going to share this and use this, right? So everybody that talks to me about Earl or EJ in the flesh at the gym, they always bring up old EJ, right? They bring up EJ of old, Chris Algieri, Sam Vargas, Phil DeGreco, um, Sean Porter, right? These are all guys prior to that car accident. And when they do, you know what I do? And I never used to do this, but now I do it a lot. Like yesterday, I broke down the Samuel Vargas, right? Tape down because that was his first fight at the Buffalo. I broke this tape down to them, and I mechanically was showing, right, if he does this against Terrence, what's going to happen. And I was showing it because they love to say, oh, he's a body snatcher, he's a body and I was showing them fighting these guys on the come up when he was getting these tags, how he was fighting, right? Then I showed him his last fight against Ugas, and they was after I gave them the tutelage, the teaching, reality started setting in because now they seen. But see, with certain people, they're not gonna see it until it happens. And when I talk with Terrence Crawford fans, right, radical fans, they have more of a sense of understanding. Whereas Earl Spencer's fans, like the kid at the gym last night that I broke down two fights. I broke down his pro debut fight and I broke down a Samuel Vargas fight. And then we watched the Ugas fight, and he was done after that. He was done because he's just like so many of these other radicals. They tell you about a vintage Earl that nobody has seen in years. And then I took it even a step further with the young man. You know what else I did? I showed him the clip of Earl laughing at himself when Brian Custer said, "Will it be man down?" And he said, "Man, it ain't been man down in a while." And I said, "This is the guy. He's one fight removed from this fight. His longest layoff to date, right? Because the car accident, I don't count that, man. The man, the man was in a car accident. The man was in a car accident, and he had to physically get better. But he just fought last year. He hasn't fought since last year, since last April. So this is the longest inactivity. And he's talking about stepping, right? Um, that's how another reason why I know a lot of you so-called boxing heads ain't shit, respectfully. Um, and hopefully he's just saying that to sell the fight. Hopefully, respectfully, his quote unquote coach of the year, trainer, Derrick James, that is not the game plan. Because to be honest with you, you go out there trying to step after a year and some change, ring rust. Your performance against Dennis Ugas until up until the point where Dennis Ugas stopped fighting, you wasn't the sharpest then. And now you're talking about stepping. Like, come on, man. And please, like I did the video yesterday, one of you so-called media guys that's gonna be there next Wednesday, let your nuts hang. Ask that question. Ask that question. Ask that question because not only is that a fair question, it's a relevant question. You know why it's relevant? Because this is the guy that made the statements. This isn't something that is made up. He's on record to stating this. So if you are a true journalist, which most of y'all aren't, y'all are bloggers and messy Jessies and gossipers. But for the ones that's going to be there, ask that, man. That is a fair question because he's on record to saying that he's coming out the gate stepping. He hasn't been in the ring in over a year. Like I said, hopefully he's just saying that to you know, Sell tickets to boost the fight up. Cause that'd be the worst game plan ever. And that's how I know a lot of his radical fans, right? They're not even fanboys. They're worshipers. They're groupies, bro. Because if you really are his fan, his supporter, and you know anything about boxing, and you heard that statement from him after the other statements that has been on record to saying that he wasn't taking it serious, he was still partying, yada, all these things, and you're gonna come out stepping, come out stepping, man. You might get a rude awakening. Come out stepping. Because, and I say all this respectfully, Marvelous Jarvis is no elite fighter. He's a YouTuber, very successful YouTuber at that, man. I check out a lot of his content. Very funny, great actor, but he's no Terrence Crawford. I looked at his box record as well. No Terrence Crawford. Since y'all love to look at box record and talk about resumes, and he's no Terrence Crawford. He's not elite. He's a hell of a YouTuber, comedian, things of that nature. But as far as an elite fighter, and and if you think I'm bashing him, check out the interview that he done, right? He has an interview out there where he's breaking down his background, and he was him and Earl were rivals in the amateurs. How long has Earl been a pro for? It's three of y'all in here air hustling. Feel free to answer that, man. 2012, he after the Olympics, he turned pro. We're in 2023, so that'll be 11 years, right? That'll be 11 years, right? That'll be 11 years that he has been professional. And Marvelous Jarvis is on record to saying that they were rivals way before Earl turned pro. So around the time when Earl was, started winning Dallas and regional and national championships. So we're looking at well over 12, 13, 14 years ago. And this is the guy that he likes to spar with. This is one of his chief sparring partners. So in that span of time, Marvelous is a successful YouTuber, but he's really not an elite fighter. You're about to fight an elite fighter in Bud Crawford. Don't get overconfident because you are stepping on somebody that you have been stepping on. And Marvelous Jarvis, you've been stepping on him since the amateurs. Now you step on him as a pro because you have ascended national champion, Olympian, world champion. Marvelous Jarvis is a famous YouTuber. Terrence Crawford is another elite warrior. So, how do you think working with and I say this respectfully, a YouTuber is preparing you to face a fellow elite warrior? And I'm only saying this because this is the guy when, like I said, I pay attention to everything. This is the guy that he did the tour when you was coming back out. He was like, "Oh, the power." Remember that video he did? Yo, his power, his strength. YouTubers, your worshipers went crazy off of that. Crazy. But I said to myself, is that all it takes? Is a gimmick to have you guys think that he's back? That's when I really realized that a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing. Respectfully, Roger Mayweather's voice. Because how can like I just said, very successful YouTuber, but when it comes to professional fights, he fights in Mexico. He's the one letting you know that Earl is there on that level. Why isn't there another elite fighter telling us that? What happened to the guy that detached his retina? Where did he go? You want to know where he went? You want to know where he went? I'm gonna tell you where he went. He got paid off. He got paid off. He got taken care of very well because you see how the dude came out that hurt Ryan Garcia, right? You know why he came out? Because nobody quieted him. Nobody quieted him. Stuff like this happens all the time. If you know, you know. But see, a lot of y'all don't know because y'all not hands on in the game. So you have no in, ideas about the ins and outs. That's why when certain people can speak about stuff, right, and you don't really understand the logic, you just say that, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Where in fact, and I'm gonna use this for EJ, right? Remember EJ beat up Floyd Mayweather. Um, I think Floyd and the powers that be had the pressure, or you know how the game is. Because remember, for a long time, when they used to ask EJ about this sparring, he didn't really want to talk about it. You know why? Because he Floyd was Floyd. Floyd is still a powerful man in the game. Maybe out of fear of getting, blackballed, all kind of stuff. But for a long time, remember, he never spoke about it. Things like this happen all the time. But you remember he did speak about, this was another one of his famous Spawn things, when he knocked Adrian Broner out. And Adrian Broner tried to fight him and cut him. Yeah, that's really happened back in the day. Adrian Broner was a champion at the time too, I believe. He was a little champion. He might have been like, he was smaller. He might have been 135. He was a little guy, but EJ did it to him. EJ definitely did it to him, and um when he did it to him, you see, he talked about that one. That one, it was out there. They talked about it a lot, but the Floyd one, they didn't speak about. Why? Because it was Floyd. Floyd was larger than life. Still is to this day, but it was Floyd. So it wasn't spoken on till later on. And still to this day, like when people speak on it, they kind of, iffy, washy with it, But that's just the game. That's what happens, right? But you see how I'm bringing all of this up for a reason. That was vintage EJ, right? That's not EJ no more. That's not him no more, man. That was vintage EJ. Now, if we look at Terrence Crawford, similar stance. You have a legend that's on record. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't want to give him his flowers, but Timothy Bradley's a legend, bro. He's in the Hall of Fame, Hall of Famer, world champion. He's a legend, right? It's on record to basically giving. And I know you're gonna say, "Well, he's no Floyd Mayweather." Um, you're right, but you know what he is? An elite world champion caliber fighter. That you heard what he said. I was beating the hell out of spawn partners. See, you guys don't know nothing about this side of the game because, like I said, a lot of y'all don't leave the internet when it comes to boxing. But a lot of times, elite fighters, it's hard for them to get work because they are that much better than the fighters that they bring in or the fighters that they're working with. And you heard what Terrence, I mean with Tim Bradley was saying, he would turn it up on his sparring partners, and every time he turned it up on Bud, this is Bud that nobody really knew. Bud was turning it back up. Fighters know fighters. The same way Floyd knew EJ was special, right? I'm only saying that to say this in a second. You're gonna see. He knew EJ was special then, just as he knew EJ turned into an alcoholic and was washed up. Yeah, I said, how's he washed up? He's the unified champion. Look at all the stuff EJ has been through. There's a reason why he's not out here doing interviews and all of that. He hasn't been doing interviews and all of that, right? Only selective. Why is that? You want to know why? Because he's trying to get whole again. See, a lot of you delusional fans, his worshipers, you guys still see him as the old vintage Spence. He's not that guy no more. He's not. And you got to prepare yourself. Like Reggie Owens was saying, Reggie Owens is a big Earl Spence fan supporter. He's kind of preparing himself, just like the rest of y'all. Y'all are preparing yourself. When this fight got announced, right? I watch it to this day. I sit back and I laugh at a lot of y'all, but I always was laughing at y'all, but more so than now because before this fight was announced, man, this man was ducking. Everybody wanted this fight. Now that this fight is here, see a lot of y'all reality is setting in because July 30th, y'all might wake up and your boy might have got put to sleep, man. He might have got beat up, man. He might have got beat up, man. He might get beat up, man. And what are you going to do, right? If he gets beat up, man, what are you going to do, right? If he doesn't look like, but I know what you guys are going to do. You're going to have your excuses, but it's too late for that, man, because you can't come with the excuses when you praise this man as a god for all these years, man. He has to be a god in victory and a god in defeat. You know, a god in victory and a god in defeat. I'm gonna say that one more time for y'all, man. And this is especially to the Earl sexuals. He has to be a god in victory as well in defeat. And if defeat comes his way, July 29th, still praise him and honor him like the God that you have always honored him and praised him as. But just know that your God, yes, your God, you guys that worship Earl Spence, been told y'all that he wasn't who you thought he was. But you, as idol worshipers and people that praise him as a God, didn't want to hear it, didn't want to accept it, didn't want to acknowledge it. Just like you're not acknowledging that this fight is made. Too many of you channels are still talking about Terrence being a liar, Terrence being this, Terrence being that. No, they're fighting July 29th. If they both stay injury free and healthy, they're fighting, man. They're fighting, man. It's gonna happen. And the days are dwindling away. Yes, dwindling away. And when this fight happens, and shout out to Reggie Owens, man. You, especially you Earl Spence fans, are you going to be prepared to see him fall? Are you going to be prepared um to see him stumble? And yeah, remember when he fought Ugas? Shout out to his mother. Both of their moms. That's crazy, right? Listen, check this out. Both of their mothers are named Deborah. Deborah Crawford and Deborah Spence. But remember Deborah Spence, EJ's mother, when he fought Ugas, right? It's on the Showtime epilogue, whatever that damn shit's called. Part of my language. Yeah, remember when Ugas rocked him? And his mom said, "Oh, hey. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Right? Do y'all remember that? Right? Do y'all remember that, man? Y'all are in here, don't ear hustle, man. And some of y'all that's in here probably Earl Spence spies and supporters, right? Do y'all remember that when Ugas rocked him? His mom's, that was his mother, Deborah Spence. His mom said, "Oh, he got rocked. He got rocked." And then Lawrence Cole said, "Stop." What if that happens with Terrence, man? Are y'all prepared for that, man? Because this is a possibility. This is a possibility, man. This is the possibility. And I'm only saying this because I pay attention. I see Terrence, and Terrence said, if I get him hurt, I'm going for the stoppage. I'm going for the stoppage. So that's in the back of my mind. Like, damn, what if that was Terrence? And the people that I talk to, I always bring that up to them. They know that. They can tell you this. So, are you guys going to be able to accept seeing Earl get robbed? I know the Terrence Crawford diehard, they will take it. Listen, one thing about Terrence, right? If Terrence does fall July 29th, he's still going to be a honorable man in a lot of his fans' eyes, right? But is that going to be the same sandwich for Earl? I don't think so. And I wanted to do this video after I watched, like I said, the boxing psychiatrist, Reggie Owens. Reggie Owens he hit the hammer on the nail with that. A lot of you guys are going to be willing to accept it, and I don't think you will be. Listen, the Vegas that night, if Earl Spence falls, it's going to be a lot of dudes. Some of y'all might not even make it home, man. Some of y'all might not make it home, man. Those of y'all that's going to go out there that are Earl Spence, um, idol worshipers. Y'all might not make it home, man. And I think the best thing that they did was not have this in Dallas, little neutral ground, because Sam was in Dallas. And matter of fact, I think he has paid back his restitution to the city of Dallas and Jerry Jones, right? He had the Ugas, uh, Danny, right? You know, all that was after the car crash, right? He did two fights in Dallas, right after the car crash. So I think he's paid his restitution, if you know what I'm talking about, right? But most of y'all probably don't. But listen, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. Do y'all want to go to Build a Bear? All right.
I got 81 on my test. It was a test about the three branches of the government.
Great. What are they?
They're the justice, the executive and the
Judicial.
Jude.
Yes, judicial. What else?
Just
Executive.
executive and the
Legislative. That's correct. Good job. Great job.
I have
Okay.
to answer questions.
Okay, good. Well, yes, we are going to go to Build-A-Bear. Yes. So that's why see I did this from the mobile headquarters. Let me go in the crib and get ready to go to Build-A-Bear. But listen, I will be watching, listening, and you see this thumbnail. It's just comedy, man. And I don't care if it offends you, so what? A lot of y'all offended me and my name. You know what I did? I just level changed on y'all. I grew. And July 1st, y'all will see more of that growth. You know? Team Tucker. And then a few years later, y'all will see even more of that growth. But Jamali Tucker, yeah, Molly. You thought it just stopped there? Did you really? Did you really? Got some more stuff in batch for y'all too. But yes, feel free to get us a like, share. You know, sharing is caring, man. This. I'm gonna close with this, man. A little humor, man. Cause I listen, man. My numbers are up, man. You know what? You guys are listening, ear hustling, but you don't like or give it out, right? So this is what you guys are to me. And I always told you guys this, man. If you don't like my stuff, but you're in here listening, this is what you are. Look, I'm like this right here for y'all.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand.
How come you ain't share it yet? And I'm going to close with this, man. For all of y'all around the way that talked about me and continue to talk about me, the week of July 1st, I will be out of town again. I might be out of town abroad mid-July as well. And you know what? You're going to stay right there. You want to know why? Because of this.
I take my shit in stride, nigga. I'm a man at the end of the day, nigga.
That's real.
Niggas don't owe me nothing. I don't owe niggas nothing.
You right?
We got friends out here this day that don't post shit. How many friends you know never post nothing you did, nigga? That you grow with.
A lot.
Thank you. I got the same shit. I got a friend with that right now. Don't do shit. I'm taking them niggas with me. Hell no. You gonna stay right there, nigga, when I go. You don't show the same love I show niggas. I show everybody love. Like, you supposed to show that back. Niggas be on your page. Niggas won't like your shit. Why follow me?
You right?
You'll stroll right past a nigga page. You'll look at it and won't like it. Why are you here? Why are you here?
Talk to him.
Delete yourself, nigga. Why are you here? Bitches too, why
Delete
y'all here, man? Delete yourself. Why are you here?
That's fire.
Delete yourself. It don't make sense, son. It's just crazy. And niggas will be looking at you like you wrong when you get on and leave, niggas too.
Yeah, facts. You right.
They'll be looking at you like you did something wrong. No, nigga, you did something wrong. You ain't support me, nigga.
You ain't do shit.
Man. I guess that's how they looking at us now. At Team Tucker. Right? They're looking at us like that. But don't look at us like that, because if you paid attention, I've been on YouTube now 4 years. For 4 years, I was telling y'all. But sometimes you don't listen. Or if you do listen, like he said, you don't support. You don't want to see nobody go nowhere. So when they do go, you got to stay right there. But even Jihad was telling you, July 1st, we are back.
See what it is. Powered up by that Jackal Seymour's. Yeah. Definitely. Ooh, that's that Jackal Seymour's right there. Just put in that work. How was that work, man?
Good, 8 rounds.
Yeah. With February what?
February 13th, tune in.
That's right.
ESPN Plus, tune in.
Yes, sir. This is the one right here. Jihad Tucker. Follow him on Instagram. Y'all seeing them all over. Major interviews. You know, we just getting started. 2021, big things coming.
21 takeover, 2022, all the rest of the years to come.
That's it. Thank you for your time, champ.
Man, did we tell y'all that? We told y'all, right? Y'all didn't listen, man. Y'all wasn't listening, and now you just got to eat it.
Yo, Zaga, Slime Master.
Yo, man, shout out to Sauce Talk, man. We in books and shit now.
Oh man, what's that feeling like, man? First press conference, you walking out, the people are noticing you, saying, "Yo, he's in that book. He's in that book, man." What's that feeling like, man?
You know, it feels good, man. You know, I actually want to get it going for this fight, man. Get it out the way, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yo, just describe that first press conference. You know, 2 days out. You know, you was on the main stage, you know, Q&A. What was that like, man?
It was fire, you know. It was real fire. Shout out Top Rank. Shout out Bob Barrow, man. Shout out Sauce Talk. Shout out Jay Prince, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and we here, you know, and we gonna keep going. We gonna keep being here. We gonna keep going up.
Yeah.
No cap.
Stone was good, my brother. Yeah, somebody sent that to me today. Oh my God, I could not stop laughing. I said, I'm using it. I was like, yeah, I need to use that for my show later. But man, when they sent it to me, another coach sent that to me, and I fell out, man. I had to pull over. I had to pull over. I was like, yo, you're a fool for this one. I literally had to pull over. Yeah, it's crazy. Because that's what I told Tim. I was like, yo, you're a fool for this one, right? I was like, but man, this is comedy, man. It's just comedy, man. But yes, July 1st, we're back, man. Shout out to Jihad, who has made me the media marketing agent, aka the underground publicist. And we are up, man. We are definitely up and running. It's all good, WCS. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just in the mobile headquarters, man. You know, I thought maybe if I did it in the mobile headquarters, I'd get a little bit more views, because other guys do, right? It's just comedy, man. It's just comedy. But shout out to Jihad, man. Rest in peace to Nana. You know, she's with the ancestors now, shining down as always. But yeah, man, I look at a lot of our vintage stuff, right? And I see where we're at now. Like these right here. This is right here. Stuff like this is what really brings a smile to my face and lets me know that everything that we plan is coming to fruition right in front of y'all. It's just crazy.
Backpack killers, you see him? You see him? School you. Yeah.
Yeah, we told y'all, listen, man. I know a lot of y'all get mad at me, right? But I was telling y'all, man, what was coming. I had the vision, I believed. And I stood on it, man. I just stood on it. And it came. But I was, before it was coming, I kept giving y'all glimpses and glimpses, right? And I was doing that more so for myself, to let me know that I wasn't crazy, to let me know that it's happening. Like, later, for what these people are talking about you and saying about you, look what you are really actually doing.
You know the vibes. Another day in the office. All-star right here. You know, another day in the office. School you. That's right. All-star. Braun. Yeah. Another day in the office. We just getting that work.
Simple.
Yeah. Road to greatness. Jay Prince Boxing, Top Rank, ESPN. You know the vibes. Yeah.
Yes, man. So listen, man. Let me get set. Running. I'm gonna just leave the uniform on, man. I ain't trying to pick up no ladies or anything. So if they see me, looking a little dusty, jumping out of my sweeper, it is what it is, man. I'm just taking my kids to the mall, But y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. I tried to give y'all the album, 15 minutes short. Dock me, all right? Dock me. But salute to my team. You know the vibes.
Hey guys, this is Tiana Tuimonteloa. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout-out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.